Alrighty, good morning everyone. We're good. We're good? I think we're good. Looks fine to me. Hope you're all doing fine. A voice. We're Gucci, perfect. I'm gonna take over the restream for the next 2 runs. Hope you're all still enjoying the marathon. But yeah, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but I'm sure someone will bring us a little bit back on track. Or we're just gonna let all the endings play. So yeah, upcoming is Ultima 9 Ascension by ElCid, and I think he's good to go. Gonna make sure that everything works, and yeah, guess with that, enjoy the next run, guys.
Conclusion to the beloved Ultima series, and I have my friend Anos, or he tells me you can call him Andy, next to me, who's going to be reading chat and yeah, asking the tough questions. He hasn't seen the speedrun before, as most of you probably haven't. How's it going, Andy?
Oh, great.
Hope you can hear him well. Anyway, the way the game, you start a new game, is by loading one from this book. So we'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So now we're going to be summoned by Lord British to come save Britannia once more.
Avatar, arise from your slumber.
This is the famous
The
Time Lord.
Guardian has invaded Britannia.
Not sure how he gets the
And
name.
Lord British has surely you will not go adventuring without. In order to view your surroundings,
So we have to pick up a
simply
few
move your mouse.
supplies first that we're going to need.
If you wish to move, press and hold the right mouse button.
The
You
sound
can
be turned
also
up.
use the cursor to interact with objects. When you are close enough to use
But
an
is it
object, the cursor will turn green if placed over the. You still have much to learn before you
do I
travel
have
to
to do that,
Britannia.
or can
Visit the training area on the northwest side of your house.
the other guys do that?
If you wish to use the object, click
Here
the
I'm
left
jumping
mouse
into
button.
debug room,
For my next
which
piece of
is,
console,
like a little
left
Easter
click
egg
on
that the developers
golden
left in the
arc
game,
that will appear.
which basically lets you get any armor and teleport to any part of the world. Well, not any part, but there's a bunch of places you can teleport to. Here I'm using the first glitch, which is basically how we sequence break in this game. Normally, as you see, the sea, when you try to swim across it, the oxygen meter up at the top ticks down pretty quickly. But by opening and closing this book, which is basically the game's pause menu, the meter, you get a few frames every time you do that of sort of invulnerability to the effects of oxygen depleting trigger. So that way we can swim across. Otherwise we would have to slowly progress through the game, slowly unlocking new areas. You have a pirate friend in the game called Raven, who, as you cleanse each shrine in the various areas, it unlocks new destinations for her to take you to. But since we can pretty much go anywhere from the get-go using that trick, we won't need to cleanse a single shrine. And that does have certain consequences for the people of Britannia, since their virtues have all been messed up. So this place here is full of a bunch of wizards who their traditional virtue is truth. But since the virtue has been corrupted, they now do nothing but tell lies. And unfortunately, since we won't be cleansing the shrine, they will continue to tell lies indefinitely. grab that book through. I hope the sound is alright now. How's the sound? Are you still getting complaints?
I think the sound's fine now.
Okay, great.
Have you remembered to save?
Yeah, okay, so I forgot to mention that. But this game, as anyone who has played it will tell you, has a tendency to crash a lot. So whenever I'm not saving, if someone could remind me to save in the chat, and then my friend here by my side will relay that information to me. I'm pretty new to streaming, so like the whole multitasking of reading chat, a little tricky for me, so for now this is my solution to that problem. First save. Quickly go through that dialogue. So we have to talk to her to get a quest which gets us the sigil of truth. Each area has its own sigil, each virtue has its own sigil. And we have to collect all those sigils in order to beat the last boss, the Guardian.
You also went from peasant to king.
Yeah, so by going through the debug room, we get to keep all the items that we collect on planet Earth, which is where we start. And normally, if you start the game in the usual way, where you go to the gypsy and take the quiz, which basically drafts your class, you're stripped of all your equipment. So if you saw the book that I grabbed earlier, we basically, that's that guy's journal, and we just gave it back to him, and he gave us a couple of spells that will come in handy later on. So as you can see, I have 3 spell scrolls now.
What aren't you?
Alright, there we go, that's the first sigil, the writ of truth. Now we're on to the next area of the game. And of course I've memorized all the conversations, so I can just speed through them quickly.
So if you watch Ultima 9 to see patients,
No, probably not. Probably not. Even though, I gotta say, some of the voice acting is pretty terrific if you like cringy dialogue. So here I'm gonna use a trick where you open the backpack, which basically for some reason is programmed in so enemies don't attack you as long as that's open. Need this spell as well. And it's not actually a glitch. The developers actually, in some of the patch notes for one of the patches, said specifically that it was intentional. I guess they didn't want new players to get killed rearranging their inventory. But since you can run with the inventory open, it's just really usable. There are a few enemies that it doesn't work on for some reason, though. I have no idea why.
There's a chat member that's asking if you didn't learn all the virtues in the previous games.
Right, so this game does retcon a lot of stuff from previous installments, and that's also one of the things that people usually bring up as something they dislike about the game, because of course the Ultima series is famous for its storyline. People love the whole universe, and this game just sort of interprets everything in its own way, kind of ignores all the other games whenever it's... Now this Stonehenge thingy here won't be used. You can actually use it to teleport between places, but only if you've cleansed shrines, which we don't do. Okay, here we're going to use one of these spell scrolls. When you use this spell, the next jump you do, for some reason, lets you jump through walls. But I'll take it.
Way of breaking into one's house.
Right. Okay, here I definitely have to save. I've already not been saving enough. Because sometimes when you use the spell here, the game will crash. Doesn't seem like it just did. Okay. The game has different moods. Sometimes it crashes all the time, sometimes it doesn't crash at all.
The water full of sea monsters.
Yeah, but I just used this fog spell, which once again disables their AI. I can't have the inventory open, even though it does disable these particular monsters' AI. Every time I use the pause menu, it closes the inventory, so it just becomes really awkward to use those two tricks at the same time. Anyway, so normally when you play through this game, you get to bind spells to your spellbook. But since I started the game through the debug room and not the normal way, I didn't actually pick up the spellbook. So I can only use one instance for each spell scroll that I pick up. But we get 3 of those wizard-sized scrolls, the ones I used to jump into that wagon. And that was the second sigil I got there, by the way. I believe there are 8 sigils. I always forget if it's 8 or 7. I think it's 8.
Oh, yes, you made it.
Right. So now we're gonna go to...
You should probably save us.
yeah,
Since I'm here to
I will
remind
soon.
you that.
I will soon. Now we're gonna go to U. Actually, the sigil, the place we get the sigil is very close to here. It's right up this mountain. But the problem is we have to do something else first in order to activate this giant vulture, which gives us a quiz about justice in order to get the sigil of justice. So we have to take a little detour, but it's alright because at this place we're going to, U, we get to pick up another one of those handy wizard-sized scrolls and an invisibility potion, both of which we'll be using later on. Now, as far as I know, there aren't any more than 3 instances of wizard-sized. I haven't explored every centimeter of the map, but very close to it.
Well, you're jumping nicely.
Yeah. Okay, so I should probably mention that as well. One of the reasons why I picked up this artifact armor, other than it giving me a bit of protection, is that the pants that I'm wearing lets me jump further and makes jumping the fastest movement option. However, in other categories like no debug room, which is where we're not allowed to use the debug room, because we can't pick up this armor in the beginning of the game, we instead have to rely on strafing, which is the second fastest movement option. And you may have seen me use strafing quite a bit in like the very early game, or I got to run it.
I remind you to save.
You probably should. But actually this part of the game isn't that dangerous.
Okay.
I know this is famous last words. But right now I can't save because when I exit the save menu the inventory will close and this giant can kill me in one hit.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And the thing is, once an enemy has actually aggroed you, this glitch or this trick doesn't work anymore. So you want to open the inventory before you enter their sort of control zone.
Basically,
okay, now I can save.
Nice. It happens. We saved our time and we saved.
Saving lives. So if you suddenly see my desktop background, that probably means the game's crashed.
Yeah, okay.
Or alternatively, I accidentally tapped out, but that shouldn't happen. Hopefully not.
So you remember to...
I am a bit nervous, but I hopefully shouldn't be that nervous. So here, normally you're supposed to do like a whole puzzle to read the Book of Truth. Oh wait, the Book of Justice. Which is behind that shelf, but as you saw there, or maybe saw, it's possible to read the Book of Truth through a little corner of it that sticks out of the shelf for some reason. Back to the topic of the debug room. So another thing that I got to keep from Earth is the out-of-place medkit that you can see in the bottom left corner. So this is like, on Earth at least, it's supposed to be modern times, I guess. But this world, they don't really have that kind of technology yet. By using the debug room, we get to bring the wonders of modern technology with us, like a medkit.
Yeah.
And it's very useful because it means I don't have to pick up any potions because I can use it an infinite amount of times to heal myself, and you can use it rapidly. So even if you fight pretty tough monsters, as long as they don't kill you in one hit, you might have time to heal up.
Might have time for the medkit.
Yeah.
Do they also have adrenaline shots?
Adrenaline shots? That's
save you.
not as far as I know. But there are some invulnerability potions. I probably will be picking up one later. I have to fight a spider boss. Can be a bit scary at times.
Chat wants you to save.
Yeah.
That's not gonna
Okay,
happen.
good. Well saved.
The game is saved. Save lives.
So, obviously, in this area, I mentioned that the virtue is justice. So they're not very just at the moment.
Oh, was that Vulture?
Yeah. So we're gonna answer his quiz real quick.
No dialogue, guys. I guess the Vulture said, have a good day.
Have a good day. Have this sigil on for your troubles. No problem. So now we're gonna go to what is actually the first dungeon in the game. And also, of course, the first dungeon we'll be completing. Unfortunately, currently there's no way around completing this dungeon, but there are quite a few tricks in here, and the first one is coming up just a moment. This next jump here. What? Just happened there. So, jump into the load trigger to load like any new area. The game sort of pushes you forward a little bit. And if you do a jump in the right place, that little push forwards will get you out of bounds. That's obviously very useful.
But it's only for club members.
And now we're back into the map again. We're gonna get right out of bounds once more.
Oh!
So that's basically the same trick once again.
It's so dark.
So now we can just do some jumping out of bounds to the end of the dungeon, where I definitely will be doing another save. There's a worm guard. One of our old companions from the older Ultima games, YOLO, who was sort of, and here we have some very glitchy graphics.
Oh, brilliance falls on castle walls.
We have saved the game.
So the companions have also been corrupted, and we might get to kill them.
Goes there?
Very nice of the developers to leave.
Avatar, wait.
Okay, we didn't kill him, so we'll show him sometimes you get to kill him, and it saves just a tiny bit of time. Now I have to go to the other side of the bridge here in order to hit an invisible
Avatar,
trigger.
take the glyph
And I also
quickly
need to
and go.
grab this glyph. Not that I need the glyph per se, but it just activates the sequence later on.
Got the glyph and we didn't commit murder.
And it's so random that the developers left a hole in the ceiling here, which lets me jump through. Otherwise, this whole out of bounds thing might not have been nowhere near as useful. Alright, so that's that dungeon. Now we just have to get out. Unfortunately, they designed it so you have to just backtrack the whole way. There's no like big TP out.
even out of bounds, don't skip leg. Oh!
So here there's a little trigger. Yeah, basically the load stage trigger extends below the floor, so it lets me. So it lets me get back in. Now you'll get to see the start of the dungeon as well, because I can't get back up to the area I started in.
So you get to see the whole dungeon, guys.
Just not in the right order. Well, actually, you didn't get to see the whole dungeon. A lot of what dungeons in this game is about is like pushing hidden buttons. My sword. It's alright. Look, it didn't even damage me. Maybe it damaged me like a minuscule.
Because you're the king.
It's because I remembered to save. Nothing ever goes wrong when you actually remember to save. Now we're going to use this trick again, but to go out of bounds on the overworld. Now we're going to be traveling for quite a bit through this beautiful world. Look at it. To go to Despise. So that dungeon was only the first part of the humility quest. So Britain, which is like the main castle area of Britannia, their traditional virtue is humility. No, wait, not humility. I almost forget. Compassion. So the dungeon we were just in is called Despise. It's like the anti-virtue. And yeah, no, we're just jumping out of bounds.
We're seeing a lot of out of bounds here.
And it's sort of interesting as opposed to many games where in Out of Bounds you just sort of fall to the bottom of the whole place. Here you can actually like you can move vertically. Please.
So it's a beautiful game, Out of Bounds, I guess. Seeing some solid graphics right here.
This just allows us to take a more direct route through the world. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't always pay off to go out of bounds, and the thing is, going out of bounds is one thing, but if you can't get back into bounds, then it's pretty useless.
I enjoyed the grey background.
Now here on the right is actually some unused content from the game. A little unused dungeon, which is actually sealed off. But if you use the useful no-clip cheat, obviously isn't allowed in a speedrun, you can get into it. I haven't actually tested if you can get into it just using like speedrunning. Probably can. Anyway, here we have the next dungeon. Have to be careful for... It doesn't really look like a dungeon. You're supposed to freeze the ice up above there, and then you can... right? And you can fall down. We can just walk through here and touch the tree.
Oh! Okay, so it was just not a pool of oil.
No, it was... I think you see it from above, and it's just like darkness. You fall through the hole into darkness.
And you save the game. I don't even have
So in this dungeon, this is one of the longest dungeons in the game. You have to complete a whole bunch of different stuff to get these eggshells that completes an egg and then removes this barrier so you can go fight the dragon. But luckily you can sort of strafe through the barrier, no problem.
We might not be invited. But
And here we can avoid talking to the dragon by... There's like a trigger at the entrance, but if you just jump to the side, you avoid the whole cutscene, and the dragon's AI doesn't activate. So we can just casually slash him to death.
But it's a cool dragon.
And we need this spell for later. And then we need the dragon's head. But I just put that in my backpack since I might as well... Since it's not an item I'm going to use, there's no point in having it in my tool belt. Just like the thing at the bottom of the screen.
You got nothing out of killing the dragon? Or?
No, I need the dragon's head later to prove my
okay.
my worth to the people in Valoria.
Okay.
So there is a very specific reason for that. Because I need 2 guys from that place to help me fight some demons. But more about that later.
That wants you to save.
Yeah, I definitely have to save coming up because there's a teleporter that does quite often crash the game.
Thanks, Chad.
Now this ghost lady is gonna
No
thank
dialogue.
us for saving her soul from the dragon. Okay. So here I'm gonna use the invisibility potion because we have to like get past this guy.
Halt!
It took me quite a while to figure out this setup, but you can sort of like get him off to the side and then you can walk right past. But this thing can also kill me.
Wonderful.
I have another save here. Okay, so now basically just what we're doing is getting to the entry, or the exit rather, of this place. We can't exit the same way we came in, unfortunately. That would have been a lot of fun. This is actually an interesting room. If you save and load here, sometimes it'll just clip you through the floor. No reason, I don't know why. I'm currently the only person who runs this game, so a lot of the stuff is just based on what I can gather of the game. There isn't like a huge team behind the scenes who have this stuff. Basically just me with an unhealthy obsession.
But you're doing great.
Okay, I'm gonna do another save here.
Yes, Davis.
Now for some reason that's supposed to like disappear slowly, but if you click it, it just disappears right away. So there's a demon there. It's killed me like once in all the time I've been. That's basically the only. So as you might have noticed, there's a big difference between like the quality of jumps. I guess I'll talk about that. I have to say the words of power.
Speak now the word of power.
Typing will become more of a thing later on in this game. That's also how we're going to kill the final boss, by typing. Oh, anyway, so there's different kinds of jumping. like if you input a jump and it's too high, he'll sort of freeze in midair, and you lose a little bit of time that way. But if you sort of line it up just at the maximum range, it's the fastest way of moving. Then there's a way to save more time on that, which is to slide off an edge. See there, I slid off an edge. That didn't save me any time because it was like quite a long slide. If I slide off like very slightly, the next jump I input will have less startup animation. So sometimes you can get these tiny slide offs, which basically just lets you save like a second or so every time. But that's like the minutia of the game.
Yeah.
I'm just using the inventory again to make sure I'm not attacked. So now we're gonna watch a cutscene that has 2 different incarnations, depending on how lucky we get.
Daughter?
So we're gonna see the mayor searching for his daughter, and he's gonna get attacked by this rat. And then there's a crippled guy who's gonna come and save him. But if we're lucky, he won't have time to kill the rat before the cutscene's over. If he has time to kill the rat, then we'll have to watch
Did you say
the
a
2
crippled
guys.
man?
That's
what is this game?
That's what they call him in the game. I'm not trying to be politically incorrect.
What? No.
Okay, good. So he did manage to kill it, but somehow his post-speech didn't trigger. So that's good. So now we have to go save his daughter, even though he hasn't asked us to do so yet. Yeah. So another one of the pieces of the artifact armor that we got from the beginning of the game is the swamp boots. So if we didn't have those, we would be taking a bunch of damage now. That's pretty neat.
You're jumping through the swamp.
Here we have to kill a few of these goblins, but with this sword that we got to keep from, like the practice sword from the Avatar's backyard, it turns out it's actually one of the best weapons in the game. So the fact that we got to keep that by going to the debug room means we can kill stuff really quickly. Now, the daughter's not going to realize she's been saved until a little while later. Now she realizes.
No text.
Like, oh,
no
thanks for
dialogue.
saving me.
No one dialogue on this one.
So now we're going to go talk to the mayor and get the sigil from him. Just the
Remember to
heart
save.
of compassion. Save now. Game is behaving surprisingly well. So the whole reason we had to go through the first dungeon and get the glyph and touch the invisible trigger was actually to trigger this whole scenario with the mayor in pause, searching for his daughter.
Crippled man didn't kill all the rats.
He didn't save the day now.
Yeah. We're not
So
going
I'm
into
just,
the ocean this time.
Well, we are, but I just have to find the right place to cross. I guess
Ah.
I took a little bit of a detour here.
What you noped out.
So when I do reset, this is obviously a no reset run, but when I do normal runs of the game, if I get to this stage of the game, it's definitely a good run. Like a lot of stuff can go wrong if I'm really picky about it, and also the game sometimes just decides to keep crashing. But today we're pretty lucky.
Ah, nice.
And the thing is, when times improve in this game, it will definitely get to a point. I'm not sure it's there yet, but it will definitely get to a point where if the game crashes, even if I've saved like right before it happens, just the time it takes to relaunch the game will mean that I can't PB. I don't think we're quite there yet. I could probably still PB with like a crash or 2, but yeah.
Oh, okay, demon dogs.
Yeah, hellhounds.
Whoa.
And these guys are so fat. Their hitbox, see? He's blocking my path, even though it doesn't make any sense. So some enemies have much bigger hitboxes than bodies.
Not as skinny as they look. You're saving.
Yeah, this is actually one of the places where he's dying. We don't have time to help him, unfortunately. Now here I'm using a similar trick that I used... if you saw me opening the journal as I was jumping through there, it's just to stop the door from closing again, because if you walk through normally, the door would close or trigger to close, and I would just have to open it once more. Okay, here we go, the cutscene. So by just inputting the jump through the door and then opening the pulse menu, it sort of gets me past that trigger.
Where is Eris?
And yeah,
I am here.
saves a little bit of time of opening the thing again. Now he's gonna hand over the sigil to the demon as he promised, but obviously, where is the sigil? I just picked it up.
Do what you have promised, Eris,
we,
and I will let you live.
Okay, but hopefully this is on our end and not.
Here it
Should
is.
be back now.
Here's
I
the
hope you
sigil.
can
Now
still hear
go.
us.
Here's the
Do
sigil.
with
Now
it what
go.
you will, but keep your end of the deal and leave us now. I have fulfilled my part.
Oh my god, are we?
The thing is,
dialogue?
yeah,
What
the
is
thing
this?
is, Eris, you haven't fulfilled your part of the deal. Where is the sigil? He's just trying to summon it, so he gets punched instead.
I did not
Dies in a
believe
very
it would
delayed
be
manner.
So easy.
So basically,
But
what's supposed to
you,
happen, as you could probably
Eris,
guess,
are
is he
a
gives the
fool.
sigil to the demon, and the
Where
demon
are
stabs
your
him
heroes
with it
now,
right away.
Valorian Knights?
But since he doesn't have
Remain cowering
the
in
dagger
your
of
burrows, for
Valor, he
I
just
and my
punches him
brothers
instead.
now possess your treasured sigil
We're
of
still online,
valor.
guys.
As far as I can see, everything's still going smoothly on this OBS. Okay, so we have to talk to this guy. Now that he's seen this betrayal, he will be up for helping us. So now we've coaxed him into helping us. Now we just have to coax this guy into helping us. Okay. Now we're gonna go fight the demons, and afterwards we can go back to Trinsic and do the spider thingy. Nice. Fortunately. I might be doing some like... Still having issues.
Yeah. I think it's not your channel.
Hopefully not. But I can see that lighting up is cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not on my end. No one likes lag. Can I quickly pause? Sure. Okay. I have to just convene with the limit breaker guys. Meanwhile, Anas, maybe you can tell us a joke.
I don't have any funny ones.
Okay, tell us a really bad joke.
Well, you know.
Not an offensive one though.
No.
Gotta keep it PG-13.
Okay. So like the Twitch, the Twitch streaming service.
It sounds like it is on their end, so we'll just hold for the minutes.
I can see.
And you can see my beautiful background now.
Yeah.
I deliberately moved all my icons to the other screen just so you couldn't see all my dubious folder names.
And your love actually.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
A huge fan of that movie, which is absolutely true.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so this
but,
game is quite an interesting one. It was in development for like 4 years or something, but still it managed to be rushed when it was released finally.
4 years and still rushed.
Yeah, because they did like a number of restarts where a bunch of the Origin employees got fired and they changed out the leadership and stuff. And
So-
the game went from an isometric game to a 3D game.
Halfway through.
Yeah. And they had different plot lines. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, a great experience.
But then basically when they finally sort of settled on the final version of the game that you see now, EA were already thinking, this isn't leading anywhere. We're gonna just invest all the Origin employees in Ultima Online instead, and this game will just release.
I think.
But he's still the guy who summoned us, and he's actually the alias of the game creator. Now we're good. Okay. Alright, so I guess we'll do a countdown to resume the timer. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, hopefully we can coast for the rest of this run. Both on the technical side, but also on the gameplay side. Actually, earlier when certain monsters didn't damage me, I was afraid for a second that I might accidentally have turned on the invincibility cheat. That's why I got sort of quiet. But luckily, when I dived into the lava, the life meter ticked down. So that's not the case. That would have been very embarrassing.
We might have cheated our way through a speed.
No. We didn't cheat at all. Don't worry. But it could have happened.
Spiders!
If I
They're
hadn't,
everywhere! Look out!
Careful. Okay, so here, sometimes you get unlucky and we have to let a bunch of spiders spawn. But no, this is the spider boss and we got it to spawn right away.
Okay, we got the wrong estimate for your run now.
Okay.
You have 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Okay, that was pretty good RNG because it very much depends like how long it takes to kill that spider. Anyway, so that guy died, but not before sacrificing himself, so I can transform this ordinary golden goblet into a goblet of honor, which is the sigil I need to win the game basically. And after this one, we will actually be down to the last sigil, I believe. So, pressing... Place this thing in the statue.
Floating cup.
What?
Amazing.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing, come on.
Yeah.
Beautiful graphics for 1999.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
This game actually came out the year after Ocarina of Time, which you should take into consideration. And I don't think you could play it at 1080p back then. That's a later innovation.
Have you remembered to save?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to save here because this crossing can be a little dangerous.
Your book looks like the crystal from Bandicoot.
It does?
Yeah, it's like a time crystal.
Now we're swimming across to the pirates area, the Buccaneer's Den. Now we don't have to complete any objectives here, we're just using it to island hop from here, the new Magencia, where we'll get the Crook of Humility. And that one... yeah, that'll be the last one before. Can you read that out for me in Discord? Unless I can't...
read out?
No, just tell me what it says, the bottom message. Okay, good. Look, I'm notoriously bad at doing this multitasking. Even like speaking while I'm running is a challenge.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of.
But anyway, we're doing work.
Yeah. Not skipping a leg day.
Okay, so fun fact: in this coming place, we're gonna brutally murder some vultures and some wolves. And now I skipped past the quiz that the big blue vulture gave us earlier pretty quickly, so you didn't have time to see it. But actually, in one of his questions about justice, he asks us about like if a wolf kills some of your livestock, is it just to take revenge and kill that wolf? And you have to answer no in order to basically get the quiz right and obtain the sigil from him. But then again, in this part of the game, we have to do exactly that. We have to go murder some wolves because they're threatening persons' lives. I guess
saving the villages.
I guess these virtues are actually mutually exclusive. We have to talk to this woman first. Get the quest.
No dialogue. You're not allowed to see the dialogue.
That's a lot of dialogue. That's actually the hardest one because there's so many things you can choose between. But it goes enter 3 and then a bunch of enters and 1, and then a bunch of enters and 5.
Okay. The vultures.
Here we're gonna use the fire spell that we got from the triple dragon. Set fire to the vulture's nest. So rip vultures.
So yeah, we're not just murdering the vultures and the babies.
Now we have to go kill the alpha wolf, so we become top dog ourselves.
Ha ha ha.
Ripped ranks. Well, here we're definitely gonna save, because if I fall into the sea, I lose probably
Save the
like
game,
20
save
seconds.
lives. Do this. Oh.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Now, I guess
we're
this is
loading.
actually the first time we're loading.
Yeah. The success, guys.
Wonderful.
Now the game will just needs to crash.
You hoping for that?
No. I think some people in chat are hoping for you to crash at this point.
Well, we had the stream crash, so I guess that's the second best thing.
Yeah.
People are gonna get the wrong impression of Ultima 9 now. Oh, this game, it doesn't really crash a lot. Okay, so having done that, we just have to go back and talk to this woman. Then we will have everything we need to go confront the Guardian.
It's a solidly coded game.
Now, luckily, the way it's routed, we're quite close to the Guardian's palace. We just have to get down from this place once more and swim across. Or crossing.
By the way, your time estimate is now paladin.
But what is a paladin?
So can you do?
I guess I guess I could have done a donation goal for like I don't know if there's donation goals. If there was donation goals, I could have done one to actually hear the what's a paladin. That's too late now.
Oh.
So that over there is the Guardian's Island.
You can do this.
Called Turfin.
Remember, kids, next time you're swimming,
Yeah.
just read a book.
Exactly. And keep opening and closing it.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about what to call this trick, and I think I've settled on book paddling. I imagine the avatar is sort of using the book to swim faster. Also not get winded for some reason. Now, when you're trying to like go really fast in this game, you want to let the oxygen meter tick down as far as possible without dying. So you sometimes take a little chance in these crossings.
Oh, that's another dragon.
Yeah, these guys can kill me in one shot, so
Yeah,
I can't disable their AI. If I had a bow, I could do it. Because for some reason, when you shoot a dragon with a bow, it stops attack.
There's some interesting codes of honor in this game.
Right.
Oh, he has a backpack. I won't attack. Oh, he shot me with a bow.
I think the backpack trick doesn't work on dragon. But normally, this door is supposed to close behind you, and you'll have to like the second time you enter the place, you will have to do it through whole another dungeon. Oops, the game crashed. It happened, guys.
It happened. Game crashed.
So that was a game load trigger which made the game
We
crash.
didn't get to see your beautiful background.
You didn't? I must have launched the game so quickly. I think you should see it for...
Chat's very amused at the crash.
Oh shit, I'm going the wrong way now because I was just looking over the...
Because you didn't have your backpack open. you didn't read your book.
Okay. So it's because there's a load level trigger here. So that's one of the
We
things
saved lives.
that does sometimes crash the game. Okay, brace yourselves for a long cutscene.
Oh, yeah, cutscene time.
Unfortunately, not skippable.
Yeah. And you know, we don't want you to hear the dialogue, so we're gonna talk over.
But it is pretty funny because there's a bunch of characters that we haven't met, and they're talking like we know them, like we're all friends or something.
Okay, interesting.
And a lot of corny dialogue.
Is it because you've been jumping all around, or?
Yeah, probably.
Hello, Avatar. I'm glad you're here. Both you and your associate are about to learn the penalty for interfering with my work.
Avatar,
Being exposed
tell
to
my
the
daughter.
And he's like, tell my daughter I love her, but who's your daughter?
Your daughter?
Right?
Raven.
Raven, Wait, who's Raven?
Who is Raven?
Apparently that guy's daughter.
And is she a
How
paladin?
very touching.
I don't think she's a pirate.
Now that he has been dealt with, I have some business with you, Avatar.
He becomes our lover in the...
Blackthorn may leave us now.
Okay.
If we,
I would
if we
like to
played the
speak
way
to
So
the...
not the speed run.
No, no,
the
no.
real
My
game.
lord, I
If you
feel that-
speedrun this game, you don't get
I
to
said leave
have
us.
womanly comfort.
Well, that's an interesting choice you have to make every time. Do I want to speed run it, or do I want love?
I'm sure
He
the chat
truly
can come up
is
with
a
some
worm, isn't he?
interesting
Oh well,
slogans.
I still need him for a while yet.
Frames before some...
Then I can get rid of him.
Now, depending on...
over here, Avatar.
Sometimes he just
I
likes to
have
walk
something to
around
teach you.
aimlessly.
Do
as you saw
you
there. Sometimes he
understand yet?
confronts you right away.
Do
What
you
to
see
do?
that
What to
you
do?
can't hurt me?
I don't see
All of your energy, all of the damage that you would inflict upon me is reflected back onto yourself.
Oh shit, so
It's
we're gonna jump a
futile,
lot now.
Avatar.
But we've been jumping.
You can't hurt me.
I think since we only
can
have the starting health, we haven't... So
Are
the
you
way you normally
beginning
increase
to
your health
see
in this
the
game is by
futility
cleansing
of
shrines. You get the
resisting me,
possibility
Avatar?
of increasing your
Why
mana
do
total
you
or
struggle
increasing
so
your health.
if you can't win? None
But
can
since we only
stand
have the
against
starting
me.
health,
Surely you know that
the game
by
thinks
now.
that we've already been in a fight with
Take,
the
for
Guardian
example,
and
your
lost a bunch of
friends in
health by trying to attack
Skara
him.
Brae. It's true that they have managed to
Guess it
avoid the
makes
effects
sense.
of my
I guess.
but that is of no matter. If I cannot turn a thing, I can at
I
least
love his jaw, by
destroy
the
it.
way.
Yeah,
If
it
I
looks a bit
cannot
like
deprive
it looks a bit like a frog.
Skara Brae of their spirituality, I will deprive them of their lives.
Now here there's an extended or like a
That's the best
cutscene.
graphics. That's the best graphics we've seen so far. That's
Here there's a cutscene with the Guardian destroying
Think
Skara Brae,
about
but
that as you ponder your future, hero.
since this cutscene
Your
is
quest
skippable
is pointless.
and it sort of varies greatly
You
how long it takes to
cannot
load the
and
cutscene,
will not win.
I, on behalf of the non-existent
about it,
Ultima
Avatar.
9 community, have decided that
We'll meet again.
that we're just gonna be allowed to remove that cutscene from the folder in order to just normalize like, how long it takes to load. Not make it fair for low computers, I guess. Since such as me, by the way.
slow computers.
Now, since we, for some reason, didn't get this door closed behind us, we can go right back into the chamber.
Cool.
You're not supposed to be able to do this.
So if we have some lessons that the audience should learn from this game, it's never skip leg day and read while you swim.
And save
Save.
a lot.
And open your backpack.
Right. Now let's just kill this guy for laughs. Wait. I could have backfired on me. Imagine if he...
Did you have to do that, or was it just a random murder?
That was a random murder.
Okay.
So now we have to place each of the sigils on these convenient pillars, which seemingly have no other purpose than like killing the final boss. Not sure why he would have such things in his throne room, but I'm not complaining. It's also quite nice that the game actually lets you use the duplicate sigils. I haven't found any other sigils that you can get twice. If that was discovered, that would probably be a big discovery for them.
Are you gonna place the medkit on one of those?
Probably not.
Gonna break the game.
Anyway, so after I place this next one, you have to brace yourselves. Rip earphones.
Yeah, rip ears.
Okay. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. Now we have to go to this thing, type the words of life, I believe, which will start things happening.
Makers, speak now the magic words of life.
Mani and Corp, some kind of like pretend Latin, I think.
Red glow.
And then, so basically, when you normally get to here in the game, the Guardian's not supposed to be in the lost chamber. So typing these words is supposed to teleport him back, because his entire plan is to be off planet while he makes the moons crash down and destroy everything. But now we can teleport him back.
What have you done?
I brought you here to finish you off, Guardian.
You
finish you off,
haven't learned,
Guardian.
have you?
Look at my
Anything
jaw.
that
Oh, here comes one of my favorite
me
lines in the whole
happens
game.
to you as well. You and I are one. We're connected.
Wait for
The
it.
only difference is that you are weak and you care. I will dominate because I don't care. All
Oh,
of
he doesn't
Britannia
care.
So
and
bad.
anything else
We've
that
been
I
rejected, guys,
choose will
he
be
doesn't care.
He doesn't
mine
care about
to use
us.
and destroy as I
Oh.
see.
So we have to collect 3 of the shards from this portal that he arrived through. And then do some more typing. We're gonna write the words of Armageddon. Basically win the game. So time is coming up pretty soon. You have to watch a few more cutscenes for that every time we place one. So here's a guy we never met, placing a sigil, or placing a rune that we never acquired in a column that we never visited. Ah, okay. Well, actually, wait a minute. We did meet the guy, but he was still a ghost back then. I'm pretty sure we didn't meet. Sure. So basically, when the game freezes to load the final cutscene, like the avatar and guardian will glow with the purple sparks, and then the game will freeze, and that's the time to hit the timer. But I'll let you know when it's coming up.
Right now, even as we speak,
First, we
your
have to
columns
talk.
are being
Have to have
cleansed.
some
They're being
violent
turned so they
banter
nurture
with
the virtues rather than corrupt them.
That
How can they
means
nurture the virtues
nothing.
when I can cleanse any
Your
of them?
friends are too late. This is all too late. It is impossible to defeat me
shit.
now.
I was getting carried away there. I get a little bit of damage for my efforts. Okay, I'm gonna have to be ready with the medkit.
Okay, the streamer might die now.
Too late, you say?
I
The
saved
moons
anyway,
didn't
so we should be
collide.
okay.
Their orbits are no longer decaying. Face it, Guardian. Everything that you set in motion, we have reversed.
No! That's impossible. Your friends have only
Magus,
temporarily
speak the
forestalled their
magic
fate.
words of Armageddon.
Okay, so time is coming up as soon as the game freezes to load the final cutscene. Time.
We did it.
Whew.
Yeah. We're also sorry, guys, about
Now we're
missing
gonna
sound
have
at the start.
now we're gonna see this hilarious cutscene. I don't know if we can. Anyway, we're gonna see what actually ends up happening to Avatar and the Guardian. Basically, because we're sort of connected, for him to die, we have to die for. Yeah, see, that's what always happens on my stream because the game scales down the resolution from the resolution I played into the cutscene resolution. It sort of messes up with OBS and it ends up in the corner. But I guess you'll.
It's streamer privilege to see the cutscene.
Well, I guess I could like move it real quick. I'm not sure if this will work. Or you might just end up not seeing any of it. Oh no, I broke it. I broke it.
Yeah, the streamer privilege.
Okay, so now we're just gonna be stuck on this screen. So apparently when you minimize the game mode in the final cutscene.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No dialogue or cinematics.
I guess you can go to YouTube and search for Ultima 9 end cutscene if you really want to watch it. But basically we finally get to meet Raven and Lord British. If you've been playing the game like this, you have no idea who they actually are. Okay, I guess I shouldn't have tried to fix it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining me, Anders.
Yeah, and we are sorry about the sound issues at the start. I think most of your monologue at the start actually got lost.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well...
So yeah, I think you said something about that, you know, this is a hated game by some people.
Well, yeah. A lot of people, especially people who grew up with the Ultima series, didn't like how it concluded. And,
yeah, perfect ending actually.
yeah, probably, yeah. Now we can just rock out to this electronica soundtrack until the guys over at the Questing for Glory stream tell us that time to cut.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you have any final thoughts on us?
I don't know. Do we? I don't know. How's the timing for this? We're just gonna end it on an awkward silence.
What was the final time? 55 minutes and 33 seconds. Okay, that's not too bad. Considering we had a game crash.
And you had the Twitch crash also.
Oh yeah,
they stopped the time.
Yeah. I probably lost some time there as well.
So yeah, the game crashed. I think you died once or something. You jumped into the water.
Did I die?
You had to reload because you got into the water.
Yeah.
So we jumped into the water, Twitch crashed, and the game crashed. Yeah. And we missed the,
so overall,
the ending cinematic.
An average Ultima 9 stream.
Yeah. But you got sparkles.
Yeah.
Some real purple sparkles.
Come on, that's pretty.
And,
who wouldn't want to play that game?
The last boss had an amazing jaw. Yeah, so.
Alright, I'm being told I'm free to cut, but yeah, it's been a blast streaming for you guys. This is actually the first time I've streamed for more than 5 people, believe it or not.
Amazing.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the marathon. I know I'll be checking out some of the upcoming runs as well.
Bye.
Yeah. Take it away, whoever's next. I'm actually not sure. Alright, thanks guys.
And thank you very much, Sid, for that amazing Ultima 9 run. Now, you know, you can hate the game, but I mean, I think that was quite hilarious, personally. But yeah, coming up next, we have Sonic Chronicles. What? Sonic in an RPG marathon? Oh my god! Yes! And it's going to be played by Smelly McTroll. I will, however, need a little bit more time to set that up. First off, I was not supposed to be the restreamer now. Second off, it's a DS game. So I will actually need to find the correct layout and all that. So be patient, guys. I will need 2 or 3 minutes to get that up running. But we'll be back momentarily, guys.